Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Berrier. Corey is the sales CEO of sales. You know what? If you really want to improve your sales skills, you need to listen and watch this one very carefully because nothing happens. You don't really make any money until the sale happen. And when most of the people have a very bad impression about salespeople and cold call you get, how to sell on a cold call, how to sell high ticket items, how to sell small ticket items, everything is a sale. However, you want to learn from the master before you actually start selling. If you're selling, you want to improve, watch this right now. So please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Berrier. Corey, welcome.
Welcome. How are you, sir? Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So we made a huge promise to our people who are watching this now. So let's see if we can deliver it. We both are on the hook. So before we actually ask the sales question, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to start coaching other salespeople?
Well, I would say that what inspired me to start coaching other sales, I'm just tired of salespeople failing. I feel like you mentioned something earlier that salespeople get a bad rap. You mentioned something about that, and here's why: is because salespeople get associated with used car salespeople. But at the end of the day, our goal, and I think you'll agree, is that we're trying to lead the customer to what's best for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who inspired you? So because salespeople were failing, that you said, I need to come and take over the
Yeah.
business.
Originally, though, I would say it was my grandfather. He was always in sales, and my dad, for that matter. They were both in sales, and I would say that I kind of followed in their footsteps because I really admire them.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Corey, let's check your skill level. And are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. So because you are the coach, so I want you to share with us authentically what are the top 3 missteps to avoid, what not to do as a salesperson when you're dealing with making a sale.
So the top 3 things I would say: don't be afraid to ask for the sale, and make sure that your communication is completely clear with your customer or client so they understand what's going on. And I would say the third thing is get out of your own way, right? You have to not let those mental barriers stop you.
Mm. You are welcome to add a few more,
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like one of the other things too is you need to be transparent. I want to be transparent. I want to build that know, like, and trust factor. And that's why people do business with me, because they know me or they like me or they trust me, or all 3. And I'd like to add one more to that, which is respect. I feel like as a salesperson, you have to be respected if you're going to be successful.
Mm-hmm. That's very, very important. And in fact, that the last one is the hardest one because as a salesperson, you take their money and still they have to respect you. That's the key part.
That's right.
So, Corey, as a salesperson, I'm sure you have been failed few times too to learn all this, skills. So, what are your single most professional failure you like to share with us as a salesperson? What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from that?
So I would say my biggest failure was I sold my personal training business where I coached people in health and wellness, and I moved into and opened up a medical spa. And here's where I failed: is I became the boss instead of the leader. And so there's such a big difference there. As a boss, you kind of beat your chest. There's ego involved. And at the end of the day, a leader doesn't do that. A leader stands beside of you. A leader walks through it with you. And that's where I failed, is I was the boss instead of the leader. And ultimately, it was the demise of that business.
Mm. So being a boss can actually kill the whole business?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm. How that transformation happen in that's almost a 180 angle and is everything is here. how that transformation happened? When did you realize on that?
Well, so the transformation happened when my partner and I split, and I had time to reflect on exactly what had happened. And I looked back and realized, actually, let me scroll back for a second. I went to go to a Tony Robbins event, and one of the things he mentioned is the number one chokehold in a business is the owner, and that was me. He described me perfectly.
Oh, oh, wonderful. That's a great. So thanks, Tony Robbins. He changed millions of people. Looks like so far life. You are here's a shining story. So, Corey, what are your top three success secrets as a salesperson? And this is what not only you practice yourself, also you teach because you are a sales coach. So you teach your students as well.
One of the things that I like to make sure that the people that I work with is I always make sure that they listen. I think that is the biggest one of the. I should have named that at the beginning of this. If you don't listen to what your customer or client's saying, you can't respond with the correct response, right? In other words, if you're talking to me and I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next, I'm not really listening to you, right? I'm thinking about what I want to say, which is again ego, and it's not serving you and it's not serving me. That's the first one. The second one is, fear, right? You've got to get rid of the fear of that no, the fear of rejection, the fear of someone saying they don't want to do business with you. That's okay if people don't want to do business with me. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is someone not being transparent, a salesperson not being transparent, taking on a client that ultimately they don't really that they can't really serve. And I would say the third thing is make sure you have a sales process. Make sure that you understand the steps of the sales process and you execute it accordingly.
So, Corey, what is your sales process? Just a high level, so I can see the funnel navigation. How you think?
Sure. So the first step is always bonding and rapport. That's building a relationship with your customer or client. The second one is upfront contract. What that means is I say to you, here's what we're going to do in this meeting. You're going to have some questions for me. I'm going to have some questions for you. And at the end of this, we're going to make a decision. The third part is uncover the pain of the customer. The fourth is you have to talk about the money. You have to talk about the budget. And the fifth one is you got to get it. You have to make a decision. At the end of this, we're going to make a decision. It's either going to be a yes or a no, because maybes waste your time and they waste my time. The sixth one and the seventh one is fulfillment and then post sale. And that post sale is very important because you want to make sure that you've got every answer. You want to make sure you got every question answered. You want to also make sure that you are that you're not going to get that 3-day right of rescission. You're not going to get that cancellation. And by reviewing all the things that you've done in that sales process eliminates that 3-day right of rescission or that cancellation.
So, do you train people on a cold calling too? How to be effective on a cold call, or just like through recommendations, referrals? What type of lead generation in a sales?
Sure. So cold calling is absolutely one way to drive business. It's certainly not the funnest way, that's for sure. And anybody that's done cold calling will tell you that, here's what I like to say. You have to get your teeth kicked in. And if you're cold calling, you're getting your teeth kicked in at day after day after day. And what you have to think about is every person that says no, you're that much closer to a yes.
Yeah, cool. So, what's your favorite way of lead generation?
My favorite way is I'm partnered with a digital marketing agency, and they use a tool inside of LinkedIn, and that tool contacts folks that I'm interested in, and it starts that building rapport process through digital marketing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that has a warm acceptance and getting on a call just like this.
Yes, for sure.
That makes it so easy. Oh, wonderful. Uh, Corey, how many people you have trained overall? Just a high level number. So people who are watching this, they must be thinking you just came into a coaching or you've been doing coaching for a long time. And what's your so-called close rate? People talk about it in sales.
Yep, sure. So I coached in the health and wellness space for over a decade, and then I've been coaching salespeople for the last 10 years. So a grand total of 20 years. The number of people that I've worked with is hundreds. I don't even know. I couldn't begin to tell you how many people that
Yeah.
I've worked with and helped. Also, the other thing is I work with companies. Lots of times they're in the trades, meaning plumbers, HVAC, roofers, solar. And I enjoy that because there's a mindset block lots of times with folks in the trades. They're trying to sell a product or service that's $30,000 when they only make 60. And that's a mental block that they can't, that you have to change. You have to look at the customer from the customer standpoint, not your standpoint. In other words, you don't sell from your bank account, you sell from theirs.
Yeah, that's a great. You sell from your client's bank account, not from yours.
That's right.
Yeah, wonderful. Corey, how people who are watching this now, how they can support you?
Sure. Just you can go to my website. It's actually being redone. And then also you can follow me on social and reach out. I'm happy to help anybody that would like to reach out. I do work with a limited number of people. I do have a couple of spaces available for companies and really two spaces for companies. That's it. So that's how you can support me. If you have a small business, medium-sized business, your sales are not doing well, I can come in and usually I can double the sales in 60 days. And that's just a fact. Because I just know how to break that mindset. So that's how you can support me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. The website is coreyberrier.com, COREYBERRIER.com. So you want to double your sales in the next 60 days, as this is the bold claim by Corey. Go ahead and take him on a challenge.
I'm
Thank you.
happy to do it.
Thank you so much. As we are about to wrap up, I like to ask this question to almost every guest. What, what would you say about your today's guest experience on a growth hacking secret show?
I think it's been great. I think it's been wonderful. I appreciate you bringing me on. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity and the platform to talk about the one thing that I know the most about, which is sales.
Thank you for your kind words. Really appreciate it. What would you say as a final word?
Final word is stop getting scared to ask for the sale and just ask. And if you're just starting, just start. Don't think about it, just start. You're going to fail at some point, and that's okay. The only way we learn is by failing.
Yeah, wonderful, Corey. I just want to on live program. I want to share with you. I'm a student of a reckless billionaire. He is a $10 billion worth, owns over 160 miles of beachfront properties in US and around the globe, and with 48 businesses. And his claim is I can sell to 97% close rate. Okay, and almost by the science dissected the whole process. I can't close the 97% yet. I'm working on it. Okay, so if you like, I have been learning from him for over a years now. I'm graduated to a little small like a business partner in the real estate deals. So if you like, I will be happy to make an introduction to you so that way you both are like a sales mind people. When you talk, I will learn from both of you at the same time.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. With that one, Corey Berrier, thank you so much, the sales CEO, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.